Hello, and welcome back to Meet the Maskies. Katie here, and I am going to provide another update on my Tarlov Cyst disease journey because it has been a minute. I feel like I start every video saying that it's been a hot second, but it really has. So where am I? I'm just going to get right to it. It is now the beginning of August, and I had my surgery in March, the very end of March in 2022. So I am a year and 4 months post-op Tarlov Cyst disease surgery with Dr. Fagenbaum in Dallas, Texas. And the question I always get is, how are you doing now? And I think the last video that I had shared, which has been several months now, because I didn't really have too much to share and I didn't know if people really cared anymore. But I'm going to go ahead and share this anyways, because I think there are people out there possibly following along and interested and intrigued by what I am going through. So 1 year, 4 months, a couple months ago, my video, I had talked about some pain that I was having in my upper spine, in my neck area. I was having a lot of numbness and tingling in my arms. That has completely subsided and gone away. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. Hopefully that's done and over with. But I did end up having an MRI done, and we found that I do have some degenerative disc disease, aka I'm getting old. Happens to the best of us. Nothing to be concerned about. There were no cysts in my upper spine. Thank goodness. So all good there. And I think I had pinched a little bit of a nerve or, done something that just kind of aggravated it and set that off. And I'm good now. What else is new? I'm back to life. I know I've talked about that quite a bit. So nothing new there. I mean, I've been back to a completely normal work schedule for a while now. Right when I had my surgery and got back from my recovery is normally, they say 12 weeks that they want you to be off of work. I went back after 8 because during that time in the summer, I'm not as physical and I do a lot of computer work then, and I could work from home as needed. So that was the only reason why I was able to go back early. Not everybody can do that because of the job that they're in or the duties that they have or because of how they're healing and what their body is doing. So that's my disclaimer. That is my story and how my journey went. Not everybody's like that, and it's okay. Don't compare yourself because we're all different. Our bodies are all different. It's still been a bumpy road. Everybody asks me, and I don't want to put it out there like recovery is easy because it is by any means not. It is a bumpy road. You're going to have moments where your pain flares, mostly because you're testing the waters. I mean, that's for me. When you get to a point where you're kind of ready to get back to the things that you love or the things that you couldn't do because of this disease, and you have to kind of test those waters and push yourself to say, like, can I do this? Is my body capable of doing this? And the only way for me was to kind of try. And so there were things that I quickly realized, like, okay, this is too much. I need to take a step back. And my body told me that. And you just have to listen. I think I say it in every video. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. And just make sure you're listening for those cues and you know when to just stop and take a step back. And taking a step back or taking a couple of days of rest does not mean defeat. Like, don't give up just because you had a bad moment, because you were testing things. Don't give up. All right. I know that can really frustrate people because then they get into a little mini flare up and they feel like they've totally just set themselves, weeks back or months back. Just listen to your body and have patience, give yourself grace, and just learn to recover. You kind of have to learn how to recover and how to heal and then how to get back to life again. It's a learning process. So definitely recovery is ups and downs. There is speed bumps along the way. There's forks in the road. There's twists and turns, all of those analogies that I can say you're going to experience, and it's okay. Don't compare yourself to other people's journeys. Just focus on the things that you can do is the best advice that I can give you. And then as you try to regain some of that strength for those other activities, just know that along with that may come a little bit more bumpiness in the road because you're testing those waters. So yeah, recovery for me was just a little bit of bumpy twists and turns. Now I'm in a really great place. I do still have some low back pain because they cut into my tailbone area. They cut into that to gain access to the spinal canal and all those nerves. And it's still really sensitive for me. I can't lean up against things still or lay flat. There's exercises that I can't do that, you would typically maybe work your core, like sitting in kind of that like V position on the ground, like right on, like balancing on your tailbone. I can't do that. That's okay. That's all right. So I know what I can and can't do. And like I said, I test the waters and kind of learn. That's what I'm experiencing still, is just that sensitivity in my tailbone because my cysts were in my low sacrum area. Obviously, that's a little bit different depending on where your surgery was or where your cysts are. But for me, that's where I'm still experiencing some of that. I did turn in, if you have surgery with Dr. Feigenbaum in Dallas, Texas, or if you're going to have, they do want you to follow up with them. So they want you to continue to follow up. Most of my treatment after, though, is done here locally with my family doctor. I go to her if I have issues. Really haven't gone to her much because I haven't needed to, but I did have to do a 3-month MRI for Dr. Feigenbaum, so I had to go get that done so that he could review to make sure things were healing properly, everything looked good as it should, which it did. And then I had to do a survey that they send you a folder with when you leave the hospital with this folder, and it has a bunch of surveys in it. So I had to do a 6-month survey. I had to do a 1-year survey. The surveys are essentially just seeing where you're at with your pain, what you can tolerate. The questions are all the same on the surveys, but it's, do you have pain when you do this? Can you walk a block? Can you walk a mile without issues? Can you stand for long periods? Can you sit for long periods? All those questions are what the survey asks. So it's just assessing your recovery. I think I have to do another one at 2 years. I think that's it though. Other than that, it's all kind of pain management or following up with your family doctor, or if you do experience more symptoms or something just doesn't seem right, then following up there. But for me, all is well. All has been doing well. So I just competed in my national pageant. If you followed any of my other videos, and you know that I like to compete in pageantry, and I had the Mrs. Michigan title and was set to compete at Mrs. America when I was diagnosed with this disease, and I had to give up my title. Now that I've gone through recovery and everything, I've been determined to use Tarlov Cyst disease and supporting those living with rare diseases as my advocacy work. And I was able to go and compete in another national pageant. It wasn't Mrs. America, but another great pageant. I went to Savannah. We drove, which was like an over 12-hour drive. I had no problems. I wore heels, but I can't do the high heels anymore. That's totally okay. I did well. So I'm excited that I'm back to all the things I love. Please use this as hope if you are new in this journey. Watch my other videos. I try to provide you with a positive, message, a positive message, but also reality, because this is not always positive. There is a lot of ups and downs. Know that you're not alone. There are 1,000 of us out there that are going through the same things that you're going through, maybe experiencing things differently, but you have a great support system. So that is my update at 1 year and 4 months post-op. And I hope that, if you want any more updates, please write in the comments, follow me, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be happy to continue to share the ups and downs of Tarlov Cyst disease. So thanks for following along.